Hey everybody, and welcome to the Guardian Podcast. We're doing a little special series like we did last year, where we are going and doing a recap with all the Guardians and getting their experiences and how they like the convention this year. So we're going to start off. We're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to try to go and buy a team basis, go with each of the different teams, and we started with the PAs since. You know,
because you happen to be a PA.
Yeah,
bias is strong in this group.
But yeah, so let's go ahead and introduce ourselves, starting with Noobs.
Oh, Jesus Christ, me again. All right, hi, I'm Brandon, or I go by Noobs mostly. Yeah. What else are we supposed to announce or anything like that?
Who'd you PA for?
I'm a Taurus. I PA'd for Kathleen for 2 of the days, and then I was a freelance PA running around doing whatever was needed for the other day and a half or whatever. So yeah.
Awesome. James.
I'm James, or Desedgen on the website. I was Matt Hollum's PA this year, and that's why no one saw me.
That's why.
I'm also a Pisces too.
Jen.
I am Jen. I am Lozelda on the website, and I was one of the 2 team leaders for the PAs, and I'm a Gemini, so suck it.
You have to say it twice, though.
Tim.
My name's Tim. I'm the governor on the site. I had Barbara this year, and I think I'm a Capricorn.
You think?
I think. I don't follow it. So
Not even sure.
January 11, somebody tell me.
Yes, you are Capricorn. I know that because it's in my
Jesus.
sister's birthday. There you go.
Okay, and I'm your host, Jordan, also known as Simmons in the GroupMe chat that we have going on, because I like to kiss a lot of ass to our leaders.
It's not the only ass you kissed this year, but go on.
And I go by Ninja Spectre on the RT site, and I PA'd for Miles, and I believe I am a Virgo. So.
Oh, we have a nice little balance of people here, you know.
Yeah.
We're all balancing each other out, or trying to kill one another. I don't know which is which, but
You know.
Flatter.
Which is better.
All's fair in love and war.
And RTX.
and our
And RTX. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, how did you guys enjoy the convention this year?
It was a little different this year, wasn't it? It's like we were like spread out more. Like they found more space in the convention center because it was just not as crowded for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely an experience having to run to 3 different locations all the time and do that when I was so used to the last 3 years having it just be one place. You only have to go there, and that's where everyone is. It's like, no, I'm at the JW now. No, I'm at the Hilton. It's like, oh my gosh, all right. Start walking in the heat. And
Yeah, it was also mighty toasty this year too. What a perfect time to be outside.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I didn't mind the heat and the walking and stuff. My problem was I kept getting confused as to which hotel I was in. I would have to stop and be like, okay, am I in the Hilton or am I in the Marriott? Because it's going to change the answer I give to this question.
Yeah.
So those of you listening at home, this was our team leader, and that kind of gives you an idea of how RTX went this year.
I was mentally, I was a little strained, just a bit. I think I did okay. Nothing caught on fire, literally or metaphorically, so like that's good. Nobody showed up at the final meeting with pitchforks, so I'll take it. But it was a little, it was a little weird having to run between the buildings, and it's like, okay, which one did I just go to? And it's like, all right, so I'm here, and the convention center's there, and we have to be over here. So do we need a cab, or can we just walk? And it was just kind of.
Hey, you know what? That was the perfect opportunity for like when your algebra teacher said, "Hey, you're going to need to know this at some point." Okay, I'm at the JW Marriott, and I need to get there in 5 minutes. If I'm traveling at 3 miles per hour across alleyways, what time will you arrive?
Yeah. If you run into 20 attendees, you each want a photo, how much time does it add?
Now, is it like a walking selfie, or is it a stop and let's chat? And speaking of stopping and let's chatting, hi, Marcy and Kyle, who are in the Q&A right now. Marcy, who PA'd for Bernie, is well accustomed to stopping and talking with people for hours on end.
and crying.
And crying.
Yes.
Yeah, and we also have Kyle. He was wanting to be Guardian this year, but he couldn't because of work. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Kyle, did you end up coming to the convention? I thought you were.
I
But,
thought that restraining order was still in place.
yeah, who knows? It's just words to him. But Tim, how did you enjoy the convention this year?
It was great. It felt like they tripled the space, and yet there was never a lack of anything to do. It was always exciting finding out which hallways you could use which days, because it seemed like that changed.
Yes.
That changed
Yeah.
every day. It was like, oh, they don't want you to use this elevator, so you got to go here. So it's kind of like Hogwarts. So everything changed.
Yep. I kept trying to go through that, what was it, 10 3/4 wall, and it was still a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was probably the most irritating thing. And I think that's probably very unique to the PA team and probably tech as well, that on some days, certain hotels that won't be named, so we'll just make up a name, we'll call it Hilton, were very stringent about what hallways we could or could not use, and then other days it was like, yeah, sure, just as long as it's just you and your staff, then it's fine. But other days it's like, no, you can't, you can't come here. Where are your parents?
Yeah, it was frustrating. Yeah, it was frustrating on a number of levels. So
That
It
and the
was-
Freeman.
yeah, there were definitely things that I understood where some of it came from, and it was that when we weren't around, the hallways were being used inappropriately by people that shouldn't have been back there, so then they just assumed we were all the same, and they were like, no, nobody can use it because they sucked, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, that wasn't us. I'm going to talk to those people. They're not supposed to be there. We're the people that you're not mad at. Like, can we please still do this?
We have armbands.
Yeah.
We're different.
Yeah.
I know the band.
We're groupies.
Yeah. No, it was a very interesting because it's very active for me. I think I walked around in the high 40s for miles.
Yeah, 47.
Now, was
I
it 4 miles or was it for the actual distance miles?
Distance miles, like
I had to do that.
yeah, total. I think I walked around like 49 miles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I hit 58 miles that weekend, and I was starting with the bag stuffing day and ended on Sunday.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of running around this year, especially 3 locations, and I did use the cabs very generously. Thank you, Jen and Jackie, if Jackie's listening. But those cabs were lifesavers for those who were able to use them.
See, I didn't get a chance. I think I only hailed the cab once, and I couldn't find it like for the rest of the convention at all. So
We used it once, but we used a smaller one, and so the guy was like, "Yeah, you have to fold the seat down to get in." And me and Barb just looked at each other, and I was like, "All right, I'll get in the back." And it was the most uncomfortable 4-minute ride of my life. I'm hunched up in the back seat.
The one trip, and this was thanks to Jackie. I called her. I'm like, "Hey Jackie, could you get us a cab? Matt and his family are gonna need to get back to the convention center from the Marriott." And she's like, "Yeah, sure." Well, apparently 2 showed up, which is perfect because it was Matt, Anna, their 2 children, Anna's PA, and me, all crammed into 2 small cabs. And this thing, when it would make a turn, you could hear it go. We're like, "Oh, this is not good. This is not good."
I was not happy with the weight ratio.
No, we're very top heavy right now.
but yeah, I think when I did it, I had to run. I couldn't enjoy the ride of the taxi cab because it was me, and then I called Jackie. Then all of a sudden, Avery, Stacy, and Carrie came up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll get the chance to ride." And they came up. I was like, "Oh, okay, looks like I'm running."
The run actually wasn't that bad though, because you kept getting stopped at traffic lights and traffic that if you ran it on foot, you may have gotten there around the same time.
Yeah, true. That's very true. But for the most part, they were lifesavers if you really need it.
Yeah, cool.
Really needed them.
Jen, could we have more next year? 4,
Please.
please.
So originally there was supposed to be more than the 2, and then there wasn't. So, and that was one of those things that we, the reason we didn't tell you guys about them ahead of time is because we didn't know about them. When we were doing bag stuffing, Julia from the ACC was like, "Hey, I've been told I need to talk to you," and I was like, okay. She goes, we have cabs for you. I was like, oh, like this is news to me. Okay. So,
I felt like that's how a lot of the weekend
there were a lot of things that happened like that. I felt bad because I know it definitely looked like we weren't sharing information with you guys, and it's like literally the amount of information we got Wednesday night / Thursday afternoon was insane.
Hi, Jackie.
Hold on, Jackie, get in the conversation.
Yeah, Jackie. Jackie, you're on the wrong side of the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So that was like a really like a last minute news item for you guys.
Yeah, we found out. Yeah, there were a lot of things that when we told you guys things when we were doing like the quick briefing like Friday morning, and it's because we just found out at that point, or like when we were doing our meeting on Thursday, and it was like there were a lot of things that we were trying to figure out and have been asking about, and it's like, oh yeah, we'll get it. It was just a lot of things came together very last minute, and so at that point it was like, okay, share the information, share all of it. Like here's everything that we have. We're trying. I'm sorry.
Here, let me go quick to the Q&A because we got a little bit of a list going on now.
Oh man.
Kyle says, "Hey, Lozoda, I found booze for the D&D
Nice.
the D&D panel. Just in case if you're wondering."
Nice.
So he was there technically in secret. So.
Yeah,
He rolled really well on his stealth roll.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, there's a Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt, which is why I was like, I'll use the Q&A here. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
silly.
So let's end the podcast here. All right.
It's been great, guys. Next year.
Yeah. Let's see. Marcy said, Bernie never made it to the ACC until the last 2 hours on Sunday, which made my experience loads easier versus last year. But even when he was there, poor Big Red and Grady.
Yeah, Sunday, the last 2 hours of Sunday were really hilarious because, like, every staff member, like, all of them were like, I'm going to go to the floor, and some of them were like, I'm going to go sign stuff, and some just wanted to go walk it. And some were really good about their disguises, and some were terrible about them, and some of them were just like, screw it. So yeah, there were calls coming in on the radio like, hey, so Barbara's supposed to be at this place at this time to do a signing, right? And we're like, yeah. They go, well, Ryan just showed up and took it. And I was like, what do you want to do? I'm like, put Barbara somewhere else. I don't know, or make Ryan move. You're there.
Yeah, the Sunday Expo floor signing, that was like, because I think everyone was just so busy, all the staff were so busy, they're like, okay, well, we better do it Sunday. And Matt and Anna wanted to have family time on the floor. And Jackie knows this because I was furiously texting her like, oh, they just decided they're going to go on the floor now.
No, that was okay.
But
okay, real quick, that was the moment where I think you and I ran into each other at the Monty Memorial because I was like, okay, Kathleen's here, we're just relaxing a little bit. I'm like, oh, there's Anna and the kids. Okay, cool. I've tapped Kathleen. Hey, Anna's over there if you want to say hi. She goes up, hugs Anna, and then Matt shows up, and I see James, and then I look in James's eyes, and I look around me, and there's a crowd of people just gathering. I'm just like, oh no.
Well, that actually led to like one of the more infuriating parts of the job, and it's not Matt or Anna's fault, but especially at the Monty Memorial, it was very emotional. I mean, I think we all were quite emotional when we saw it for the first time, and like just seeing the drawings and what people wrote, and Matt and Anna were definitely feeling it, obviously working closely with Monty, but all of these people around them were trying to grab pictures with them at Monty's memorial, and it felt like they were dancing, like kind of like dancing on the grave almost, like you shouldn't be, treating this with a little bit more respect. They're trying to have a moment and kind of take it all in, and you're like, hey, can I get a selfie? And I'm like, yeah, I can't say get the fuck back, but
that's RT. You can get away with it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Matt just kind of gave me this like very sympathetic look, and I just like tried to push everyone back. And Brendan, I think you were still there because Kathleen was talking with Matt a little bit, but we kind of cleared out the whole memorial just to kind of give him a little bit of space. And I felt bad that 50 people swarmed, trying to grab as many pictures, and it was just one of those just uncomfortable moments when, and I'm sure they didn't even realize what they were doing. They just saw Matt like, this was my chance, not really realizing the environment they were in at that moment.
Yeah,
that kind of happened with Lindsay too. I was helping her and her family walk by, and she stopped and she just wanted to write something, and she got like 2 words in, and somebody grabbed a picture. She got like 3 more words down, and Laura was just kind of like, she wants to take pictures. So I mean, but she was trying to like have a moment at the memorial. So.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, the Monty Memorial was definitely an emotional time.
Yeah.
I went in there. I got a chance to cosplay. Thank you, Jackie, by the way, for letting me have the time.
Oh, you got a break? What?
I saw him
that's-
walk around. I'm like, you are lucky, man.
How much you pay for that?
I send out the emails.
Yeah, and so I got a chance to go around cosplay, and then I took half my time was spent at the Monument Memorial writing my little letter to him in his book, so that they had out, because they had the book out, and then they had people who wrote on the walls,
Mhm.
which by the time I got there on Sunday, the walls were already filled.
Yeah, they were showing Barbara the memorial Friday morning, and they asked her to sign it first, and then she's like, "You can sign it too." And I was like, "I'm gonna let you sign it because you actually have like a moment here, and then I'm gonna let some other people sign it, and I'll come back and sign it." I just felt it was like somebody else should be the first one to sign it. It just doesn't feel quite right.
But so Jackie, now that you're here, how'd you enjoy your experience at the convention?
Oh, what did everyone else say?
I didn't have to answer yet, so you gotta go first.
Oh God, no! It was, back in 2013 when I was just, I was a PA for Kristen Maris, and then 2014 I was the only freelancer on the team, and now 2015 I was one of the PA leads. It's been an adventure. That's really the only way that I could say it, and it was very exhausting and tiring, but it was probably one of the most rewarding weekends of my life. And to have such an awesome team back me, to have such a strong and amazing co-lead next to me helping me do this, I will remember this for the rest of my life. It was a very cool thing. It's a very cool experience. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Jackie.
Wow.
Thanks for having me, boss.
No problem. No problem.
Your check will be in the
Do what I
mail.
For $0 and a shirt.
Actually, Jackie, Tim, and George were the first three people I saw when I landed in Austin, because Jackie and I both landed at the almost exact same time in Austin, obviously coming from different parts of the country. And Tim and George were going to pick Jackie up, and I kind of hitched a ride with them. I have to say, very comfortable trunk. But fortunately the road construction was over, so there weren't too many bumps. But they were the first couple of people I saw, and much emotions were had. Literally been a year since we've seen everyone. Or I saw Jackie earlier in the year. I was in Austin for different reasons, but
I was there too.
oh, that's right, Tim. You were there too. I was a little drunk. I'm not afraid to say that. Things were starting to blur together, and stuff happened. It was my bachelor party, and I was in Austin. So
What amazing shirts you had.
they were amazing shirts. That downstairs right now. Maybe I'll go run and grab them. But I figured since it seems like we're always spending Austin for RTX, and we're always working at RTX, I wanted to actually enjoy the city, so I went there for my bachelor party. And it happened to be the Let's Play Live weekend, so we didn't go to it, but we saw Jackie and Tim, and I think Alex, the security lead, was there, and Aaron, who was a site lead, was there, and ran into them when I was kind of already mostly drunk, and I think I said goodbye 5 times. Like I shook everyone's hand 5 times because I couldn't remember where I started, so I just kept going. But I digress. Sorry.
Jen, since you said you didn't answer, she just muted her.
I think my microphone was smart. It was like, oh, she's typing. I'm gonna mute it. So.
Since you said you didn't answer the question, how was your experience at RTX?
It was. I'm gonna have to echo Jackie in the statement of it was an adventure. It was definitely. It was a really different experience. So because I've got one less year of guardianship under my belt than she does. So I was a PA for the first time last year, and then got to help be one of the leads for it this year. And so it felt like a really fast jump, and I was like, why do you trust me with this? What happened?
Out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Yeah.
I mean, Jen, we were all thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
so
it's like, as long as we're all on the same page, it's cool. No, but it was definitely it was an adventure, but it was a good adventure. It was tough, and it had things that I did not expect to come up, have those kind of things happen, to have to handle them and do the whole, fly by the seat of your pants thing. But I mean, it was a very rewarding weekend. It was a very emotional weekend to have that connection and that deep working relationship with so many of you all at the same time.
Yeah. It was a very emotional ending to the weekend. It was, that's for sure.
I was crying like a bitch before anything even happened. Before anybody said anything. I was done.
That's why you need hey, kids listening at home who are guardians, last night or the Sunday, start dehydrating yourself then, so you physically cannot produce tears no matter how hard you try. It's a veteran move, and it's good. I highly recommend it.
Pro tip.
So, how about you, Brandon? How was your total experience at
Yeah, this is your first year on the PA team, correct?
Yes. This is
Newbie
my first
noob.
year PAing. What's that?
Newbie noob.
Oh yeah, I was the noobs. It was interesting being thrown into freelance just because I'm like, okay, let's run and gun, let's see what we're doing, and I think on Friday total, I think I walked a total of 10 miles prior to the convention even starting, and it's like, okay, I can understand what's going on, like just running around, getting that damn jacket to, I think it was Brandon or Chris.
Yeah, that was a long process. Holy
ordeal.
crap.
But there was a lot of fun experiences with it where it's like I was able to get some downtime for the panels that I wanted to be, the panels that I wanted to see, the panel that I wanted to be on, and just hanging out a few times and being able to run around as well. It was a very nice process, like work and then free time, and I really liked it. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
The jacket that you were speaking of, I went back and watched that panel that they had up on the YouTube site, and when Blaine came out in the jacket, and someone asked him, "Where'd you get that jacket?" and he's like, "Oh, I just found it." I'm thinking, no, I saw the goddamn chatter there was on the group about trying to find that stupid jacket.
There were apparently two of them. Like, I went to registration to hand them the jacket, and I'm just like, okay, this goes with the handcuffs for Blaine, I guess, for something. And they're just like, we already have a jacket. And I go, what? I'm like, you make this man wear both, damn it. I don't know if that happened or not, but yeah, it was like, there was so much chaos, and yeah, I think the one scare moment, like with, like I was talking about with James, like being at the Monty Memorial, but the other moment was I was helping Marcy out a little bit with Bernie at the end of the day on Sunday, walking around on, I think it was the northeast, so on the west side, that west main hallway, and then I get a message from one of my friends going, so Ray is walking down that same hallway that Bernie's at? And I just go, no.
It's like when galaxies collide.
Exactly. I'm just like, get in the elevator. Do not go this way. They're just like, all right, sweet. And just kept going. Oh, that was very fun, though. But yeah, A+ would do again.
Yep, I had a really fun experience as well. And it was, like, with me, it's a little bit easier to say because Miles and I got to know each other really well. And so basically it was us, like, basically two friends coming back together and working again. So we had a really fun time. And it's mostly us just going from place to place, same thing, same old process. And it was a really fun time. And I did appreciate, like Marcy said, last year he did the Baghead, and he included me in the shenanigans this year. So we were Boxhead and Bag Lad this year.
If you guys get paired again next year, I'm pretty sure the attendees are going to figure it out.
Yeah, you guys have to figure out something else.
Didn't he figure it out, and then didn't he have to throw a McDonald's bag on his head?
Yeah, he did.
Get out of there?
God.
I bet that smelled delicious, and I'm being completely serious.
Yeah, he literally reached into the trash can, emptied out a McDonald's bag, and then just took all of it.
Mr.
He did.
McSecrets.
Mr. McSecrets. That was so great. Oh,
Yeah.
seeing the terrible disguises that were happening, it was one of those things that even if they had an actual one, I knew exactly who it was. Like Reisinger walked past me at one point, and he had an actual like full-on like get-up going on. He had like a full mask, and he was smart enough to switch out his badge for just like a regular weekend badge. So it's like, he's walking around, but he's walking towards me, and just the way he walks, and I'm like. And he walked past me, and I just whispered, I'm like, hey, John. He goes, how'd you know? I'm like, because your hair's sticking out, and you always walk with your hands in your pockets and your arms like this. You got to stop doing that.
Jen, you actually bring up a very good point that Tim and I were talking about this when we first got our Guardian assignments, that, as PA, I mean, because we were following them, or staff so much, or just staff in general, we start noticing like the small like patterns, idiosyncrasies, and stuff like that. So when I found out that Barbara had fired me and moved me on to another staff member, I kind of gave Tim the spiel of like, okay, this is what I learned last year from Barbara, and it was like a laundry list of things, like this is the kind of beer she likes, this is all this stuff, and like you told her that, and she's like, how do we know? It's like we watch, we know.
It's our job. I was telling her about it in the elevator on the first day, and I was like, he wrote me like a really long, detailed message, like this is where she likes to go, this is what she likes to drink, this is how often she eats. She likes to eat meals at this time and this time, not just snacks here. And she was like, wow, I feel really bad for firing him now. She's like, it's really good.
Yeah. So, Tim, I think did I ask you how your experience was? I can't remember.
It was great. I mean, Barbara and I have been friends for a little while now, and I've been trying to get a more behind the scenes look, and so working with her was awesome because we got to watch the hall open and close on Friday and Sunday, and she was telling me like, I wanted to do this and this, and like little just like behind the scenes planning things, and then getting to meet Bethany and learning about how her trial by fire was over the 6 weeks that she had to learn everything about RTX was great. But one of my favorite things about this job is that we all have the same job, and yet at the end of the day we all have completely different jobs, because you'll go to a signing and you'll catch up with somebody who you haven't seen all day, and the list of things that they had to do that day is just completely different than what you had to do that day. Like, I'll go to a signing and be like, yeah, we just poured a bunch of syrup into Charles's pockets, and then he's going to change. We cheated today.
That was the weirdest message that I got. When Charles was trying to tell us that he was leaving site for a little bit, and I want to actually pull this up so I can get it right. But I was just I'm we're just doing our thing. Things are just happening like normal, and it's great. And then I just get so. I can't even find it. He's just like, hey, he goes, so Gavin's at a signing. I have to go wash my pants. I was like, why do you have to wash your pants? And he goes, they're full of syrup. And I was like, I feel like I want to ask the questions, but I'm just not going to.
There were a lot of out of context messages in that group me chat that I was just not pervious to it. Like the one where Macouse, Adele, she just messaged, I have gotten the handcuffs in my hand, where am I taking them?
Yeah, that was the best one.
Yeah, the group me was always kind of funny to watch, because it's one of those weird things where you can see the stress of other people, and you're and sometimes it's very powerless to do anything about it. So I had an earpiece, and so my phone was silent. I could hear it in my ear, but you could hear it vibrating in my pocket. And there was one point where I think 12 messages came through in a minute, and Matt was in one of the green rooms getting ready for a panel, and he just kind of looked over at me and goes, is everything all right? And I'm like, I'm sure they got it. I'm sure they got it. I'm sure everything's okay. And I have the text, the voice enabled, so I'm hearing everything that's going on, and it was the syrup thing, and I could hear like this very robotic syrup pants and clean. I'm with Matt, I'm like, what the is going on? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like the GroupMe tone is very pleasant, at least on the iPhones now, and so it was going off and going off and going off when we were in the mezzanine one day, and Barb's like, what's going on? I was like, oh, Game Grumps are missing again. That's it,
Oh yeah. We have a question in the Q&A. It says, which team is the best team, from David Bass?
Oh boy.
So it's the G-Spot Guardians, right?
G-Spot. No, hey, you know, I love the G-Spot Guardians because the few times I could get to the G-Spot and just relax or grab a drink or something, it was great having them. They always knew where everyone was, so if people needed directions or what have you. Every Guardian did an awesome job this year. Every team, except Response, but they suck. I said it. I'm saying it.
Alex is the worst team leader ever, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't go that far. It's your death wish, man.
Yeah, he's on his way to you now, Jordan.
Like three red dots are circling his head.
As far as teams go, I'm pretty sure, like, in my head, just having so many friends that were on the different teams, the Exhibitor Guardians this year, they nailed it. Because I was an Exhibitor back in 2013, and we were flying by the seat of our pants the entire time. We had no clue what exactly to do on a few different locations, but from this year, 2015, just being on the floor a few times, it was ridiculous how well organized they were, and Plaid Lad and Count 3D did such a great job. It's amazing to hear how far they've come.
Yeah, like the Exhibitor Guardians were right on the ball this year. Like as soon as Miles came in and we were doing the box set thing, and I was sitting there, I was like, no, we've got it. I've got it, you know. I'll make sure everyone's off me. And then they're like, are you sure? And I look behind me, there's like 20 people starting to like line up and take pictures. I was like, yeah. They're like, we already have like 3 people on their way. So yeah, they were on the spot this year. So.
Yeah, everyone knocked it out of the park. I mean, I think there was so much uncertainty going into RTX this year with the multiple locations and how that would work out. And I think, honestly, compared to last year and the fire drill notwithstanding, having it in 3 locations definitely made the crowds easier to manage because they weren't as concentrated in one area. So I felt like while getting from point A to point B was a little trickier, whether it was cab or by foot, that the amount of people in a square 100 feet wasn't as bad to negotiate as in years past.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna go up and clear up some of the Q&A. Let's see. Marcy saying Red was great for the crowds. He helped cap the line every time one of them formed. Super Brownlee points for him. Yes, Red and the Lions team were pretty awesome this year. Let's see. As Bernie said, the mystery cab, where the guy said, "I have a picture of it." What?
Marcy's using the Q&A for comments.
Yeah, pretty much.
Marcy, could you please phrase your statements in the form of a question?
Thanks, Alex Trebek. So.
I'm not Canadian. Take that back.
Jackie, you finally got to meet Bernie.
Oh shit! I was like, because I didn't really get to have a conversation with him until Sunday night, and I said, "Hey, your kids are cute," and he's like, "Oh, thanks." And I said, "Well, it only took 10 years, but I'm glad that we're formally meeting." And he's like, "I thought I feel like I know you so well through the website," and I was like, "No, we had a conversation at Anime Expo in 2006." He said, "Cool shirt." And I said, "I got it from you." And that was it. That was our conversation. And then fast forward so many years, and I'm helping escort his family through the expo hall. And no, it was actually, those guys pay attention. Like we don't really have much interaction with them on the websites or on Twitter or anything like that. But they're like, "Oh, hey, Jackie, what's up?" Like, "Oh my God, you know my name!"
Yeah, that happened.
I can't believe that.
Very similar story happened to me at PAX East. Like, me and Lauren were walking around, and all of a sudden we'd run into Bernie and Ashley, and he just goes, "Brandon!" And I'm like, "What?" I'm just like, "Oh, hi, you know me." It's kind of shocking how smart they are in remembering names from people.
Same thing with Lauren. I met her for the first time, and she actually knew who I was, like, right off the bat. She's like, "Oh, yeah, you're the guy with the shepherd dance avatar that I drew." I was like...
I think I said the same thing to you.
But with Bernie, the first signing that Matt had to do was all of his signings were with Bernie. So I was up there and I was taking pictures for the attendees who were in line. And he looked at me and goes, "Hey, weren't you Barber's PA last year?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was." He goes, "Oh, what the fuck did you do last year?" I got fired. I'm like, it's a big old running gag. All the RTX.
It's okay. When I saw Michael, when I saw him, someone had given him moonshine. So,
The what was it? The orange or peach
It was
smoothie?
It was
It was peach,
Oh
and
my
it was
God.
delicious.
That yeah.
You got to drink. Oh.
Yeah, she made me drink it first.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Michael, and he goes, "Oh, look there, she has Miss Too Good to Be with me this year." He apparently got mad. According to Lindsay, he got mad when he got the email that said who his PA was, and he goes, "It's not Jen. Why don't I have Jen?" And Lindsay's like, "Michael, Jen's the one who sent you the email. She's one of the team leads." It was really hilarious. I love how, like, when I was getting her where she needed to go, I was covering for Laura for a little bit. And because Michael was giving me crap while we were together, and then we left. And just Lindsay's like, he was actually really disappointed that you weren't with him again this year. And I was like, aw, that's sweet. Apparently, if you hand someone Red Bull enough, they like you. So.
I'm actually really happy because when the PAs were first formed a few years ago, they had no idea how to use us, and some of them admittedly have tried losing us. But like this year, like hearing I forgot what panel it was. I think it was the podcast panel, and just hearing them talk about the PAs that they had, I was just like, that was so. Not saying that the other Guardians aren't important, but I'm just saying that they now understand. Especially response. They now understand how to best utilize the team, and that we are a necessary part of RTX for them. So that was and it all comes down to how much you guys kicked ass.
Oh.
It really does, though. So, I love you guys.
We couldn't do it without your fearless leadership.
Oh, I don't know.
Thanks, Simmons.
Yeah.
Friday. She wanted to go gray-haired on that.
I wanted to, but I was working.
Yeah, that's the one nice thing is that you're too busy to actually realize how freaked out you are of what's going on. It's like, I'm in charge of shit right now. Oh my god. Okay, I don't have time to panic. We're fine. I'll panic later, and then later never comes.
Yeah. Well, Tim, I liked one of the things you said earlier in the podcast that, even though we're all on the same team, we all have like a very different experience, just depending on our circumstances and our staff. And I think that's one of the quintessential things about being a PA, and it's really hard to describe to other people. Like when they say, "Hey, how'd you become a PA?" or "What's it like being a PA?" It's that, well, I mean, we are all on the same team and we all work together, but we work together independently for the most part, and we all have very different experiences. So I figured, was there one thing this weekend that was like the quintessential PA story that happened to you this week, or the RTX?
Huh.
I
honestly don't know. Like, my quintessential PA moment is when we all came together for the Ruby panel, and just like all the PAs like pretty much grouped together and just hung out, and just like, so yeah, how's your day? And just like exchanging war stories. So pretty much. So.
Mine would have to be the winter coat, because I got that call. I don't know how much into detail I can go into it, but I got a call and it says, "Hey, I need a winter coat." And I'm like, it is 100 degrees outside. Where am I going to find a winter coat? And you go into the group me chat and say, "Does anyone have a winter coat available?" And didn't hear anything. And then that's when I had to pull in from other Guardians, like either response freelancers that were run by Pepsi, and it ended up being Aaron Vennick that had someone on his team, I think, that was local who could drive home and then come back. And then that was just, I don't know. I think that would have been my story. Or because we just all worked together, and we had 2 hours to get this thing, and we did it. I was like, "Hey, obtained," and it's like hearts, and then that was it.
According to Marcy, she said, "Hey guys, blame Ashley about the jacket. She told Bernie and me that it was her idea to handcuff him and put him in the jacket. So
therefore, blame George."
Yeah,
it's George's fault.
Jackie,
we can't blame staff, so we can only blame the PAs who were attending that staff.
Yeah. Jackie, there was one moment when I was leaving to bring the jacket to registration from the JW to the ACC. Funhouse were walking by, and they saw me carrying the jacket, and they're just like, "The fuck are you doing with that damn thing?" It was a very comical, don't ask, just don't ask.
It would have been awesome if you had the handcuffs too.
Yeah, just another day at the office.
Yep, don't worry about it.
Live action.
So, what about you, Jen? What was your quintessential moment?
I would probably say my quintessential moment would have to be I ran into Carrie on the floor. I don't remember what I was doing. I was grabbing something from the floor, checking on something, and I'm on my way back, and I find Carrie, who's wearing a box on his head that is like, it was like a shallow, long one, so like it's not even like a good, like spatial awareness is going to be a problem. And he cut 2 eye holes in it, but didn't cut them like even or like the appropriate spacing. So he's like walking around with his head half cocked, trying to do this, and it's like, and I'm like, I can see through the holes enough that I know who it is, because again, Carrie walks in a very particular way. And I start walking to him, and I just go, I'm like, seriously, dude? And he's like, can anybody tell? I was like, I know. I'm like, I think you're fine. I was like, do you have anybody keeping an eye on you? And he goes, no, should I? And like, he's like, oh, man, don't worry about it. I was like, you're probably fine. I was like, just don't like talk to anybody, and you're probably okay. And he's, oh, okay, you know. He's like, and then he like grabs his box and continues on his way with his crooked eye holes. And I was like, that's it. Like that's like a great metaphor for what being a PA is like, right there on so many levels.
Yeah, basically you got those little secrets that you're not supposed to let out, kind of a thing, and just you got to run with it. You got to roll with those punches, and that's like it's a very similar thing with that. When somebody mentioned Reisinger with like the Chica mask and everything like that, I knew he was wearing that. And I walk by him, and I just go, I know who that is in there. He just goes, shut the fuck up, noobs, and just I was like, yep, this is great.
Yeah. What about you, Tim? What was your quintessential moment?
This year probably had to be any moment dealing with Red Bull, because there were several Red Bull emergencies this year.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Not even emergencies. Last year I learned my lesson, and I brought my own personal stash of Red Bull, because I was like, I know we're getting Red Bull, but I don't trust that we'll have Red Bull. And so I had my own personal stash, and I brought Barbara to Werewolves, which is one of the after hours, and I had one left, and she was like, do you have any Red Bull left? And I said, yeah, here you go. And Kyle Taylor is standing there talking to her, and he goes, do you have another one perchance? And I was like, I will get you one, but it may not be in time, because it's like 2 minutes before they were supposed to go on. So I went down to the Hilton lobby, grabbed 2 Red Bulls, because I was like, I have to survive the rest of the night, so I'm going to get one for myself. So I walk in, I'm like crouched down, walking up to the stage. I got a Red Bull, I put it up, I had them both in my hand, and I give Kyle his, and then as I'm pulling my hand back with mine, Miles grabbed it. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, well, have a good show.
But yeah.
Oh,
what about
Red Bull.
James? You're the last one, so.
So my quintessential, like what it means to be a PA, basically started with the laser team panel that was like started at 5:30 or maybe 5 o'clock. Like the whole sequence of events that started from that point forward was just like, it meant PA. Like it had PA written all over it. So that was the panel where Matt, Bernie, Gavin, Michael, Colton, and Alan were all doing a panel, and they were all backstage talking, and we were getting their drink orders as we normally do, and then they're like, why don't we just get like a pitcher of margarita too to go with it? So everyone wanted a margarita on top of the drink they wanted to get. So now it's 5 o'clock, and a lot of us had turned in our petty cash already. So we had 7 or 8 Guardians in the Hilton bar, scrapping together all our petty cash, trying to figure out how we're going to pay for all these drinks. And Texas has a law that you can only carry 2 drinks at one time. So we found 3 other Guardians who were quitting for the day. I think they might have been line Guardians. We're like, come here, we need your help. So we're walking up, like each of us have 2 drinks in our hand, and we're going up the escalators, and people are just like, attendees are looking at us, why are there 11 Guardians carrying 2 drinks each? So we finally make it up, and we give them the drinks, and we sit down and we're watching the panel. And Matt had mentioned that he and Anna and everyone else wanted to go to the concert afterwards. So I text Jackie, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you use those cabs that we had? I'm sure since the convention or the day's over, they would be free." So I text Jackie. I'm like, "Hey, Matt wants to use the cabs to go to the Paramount because they want to get to the show, and it's like a 5 or 6 block walk." In the middle of the panel, I get a text message from Jackie saying, "Cabs aren't running right now," and I probably had that look of when George W. Bush was told that September 11th was happening, like in front of the kindergartners, just like emotionless face. Like, what am I gonna do? And Charles was sitting next to me, and he looks at me, and he's like, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "No, we're gonna figure it out. No, I'm fine. I'm cool." So I've never used Uber in my life. I download the app. I put my credit card in. I'm doing this all during the panel. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call an Uber, and I'm gonna get like the biggest Uber I can. I'm gonna fit them all in there, and I'm gonna get them to the Paramount. Afterwards, the panel's over. I'm like, okay, call Uber. Got it. And the guy was going to come in his SUV. I'm like, perfect. And he's going to pull around like to the back entrance of the Hilton. And then there were some people from Make-A-Wish who wanted to meet the cast. I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely. So, they moved backstage. And the guy's calling me. He's like, "Hey, you coming?" I'm like, oh, see, I'm trying to explain to him, like, "Oh, well, there's the CEO of this company, and people are trying to meet him, and I'm getting him downstairs. Do you mind, like, waiting, like, 3 extra minutes? They'll be right down." And he's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So they do their signing, and they're coming downstairs, and Matt was very emphatic that he wanted Alan and Colton to come, kind of, show Alan and Colton Austin. So Matt and Anna get in first, and Colton gets in, and then Colton's like, "Hey, Michael, are you coming?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm coming." So Michael, Gavin, and Meg jump into my Uber, and now there's no room for Alan. And I'm like, "Oh, Alan, I'm sure we can, like, fit you. I'll call another Uber." And they won't. I can't call another Uber while this one is engaged. So I'm like, "Well, Alan, here, I'll get a normal cab." He's like, "You know what? No, that's fine. I'll just go back to the hotel." And Matt's like, "No, Alan, come with us. We'll figure it out." And like Gavin and Michael are just like, "No, we're not moving." So I tell the guy to drive to the Paramount. So this is not only my first Uber, but the first Uber I've never ridden in, and I'm watching it go. I'm like, I hope they get there. And Charles was with me, so we had to walk Alan back to his hotel, and we thought he said the JW, but he said the W, which is like way past Congress.
Jesus.
And Dude Soup and the Laser Team panel let out, so everyone was on the streets, and they see Alan walking with Charles and I, and we just get swarmed. I'm like, I want this day to be over so badly. And that's probably why I'm not going to be Matt's PA next year. And
oh, stop that.
That's my quintessential PA story.
God. Wow. But yeah, the drink thing. Bernie gave me the weirdest look because I gave him his he asked. Apparently, he asked for a Corona or a margarita, and we just decided. Someone just decided. Oh, we'll get him both.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they gave him. And he gave him both. And he gave me he just turned around and gave me a look like. What? And then he gave his margaritas to someone else, I believe. It was just like, don't kill me, Bernie.
I find this funny that apparently Austin has a law you can only carry 2 drinks at a time, because I definitely carried a tray with 4 drinks up to Aaron and Chris while they were doing their signing. So
well, maybe it's because you had the tray. The tray imparts magical, law-breaking powers.
Exactly. It's just like this bubble of legalness. It's fine.
Stop.
Sabi.
Sorry. Mute.
Yeah, so, actually, Caitlin, who's also a PA, she was Caden's PA this year. She said she has a funny story about Caden and Val. So they wanted to meet the Game Grumps after their panel, so when they were leaving, I looked behind me, and all 8 of the Game Grumps are trailing behind me. I got all mixed up in the elevator and ended up walking with them through the Hilton kitchen and restaurant.
Oops.
Oh, so that's why we're not allowed back in the Hilton.
So it's all Caitlin's fault.
All right, we now know what maybe one of the stories was that I got. I was like, this is why you can't go back there anymore.
It says, but they were super nice about it, and it all turned out well. So.
Were we at the same Hilton?
Yeah.
Well, who was super nice about it is the question. Was it the Game Grumps who were super nice about it, or was it the hotel?
I have a guess.
Survey says.
Show me potato salad. All right.
God damn it.
But yeah, oh, no. which Caden and Val got married or engaged.
Yeah.
God, I
like,
think that's the next step at this point, though. Is someone has to get married at a panel next year. Like, that's all we're missing. It's like
The marriage panel.
we had attendees get engaged, we had guardians get engaged, we've got staff that's now engaged. It's like someone's got to get married. Nobody else can get engaged.
So Gus is going to be the one running the panel for that one.
Hey, can that be a special guardian group, like guardian officiants? Like
my
just kind of doing spot marriages left and right?
Who was it, you, Tim, that I was discussing my date with you, and you're like, hey, by the way, I'm
Yeah. I'm ordained.
I'm ordained.
Jordan, do you want to discuss your date with all of us?
Yes.
Do you want me to?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I had a thing
You
where
can't leave something out like, oh, I was telling Tim this, and I'm not going to tell the rest of you. I was telling
Fuck
Okay.
you guys. You don't need to know about it.
so it's an interesting turn of events. I was supposed to have. I had set something up during RTX where I was supposed to meet a girl that I liked, and it turned out not only was that not a date, it turned out to be that she was already dating someone and just didn't tell me.
Oh.
What?
So that was an interesting turn of events. So I was like, I left the night. I was like, oh, whatever.
dun,
So-
dun, dun.
It bothered me for a few hours, and then it was just like, okay, whatever, I'll move on. And literally, as soon as I came home, my best friend, Tyler, who was house sitting and watching my dog for the week, he comes up to me and goes, okay, so how'd everything go? I was like, fine. He goes, how'd the day go? I was like, didn't go as planned. And he goes, okay, so you're coming with me Friday night, and you're going on a date with my sister. So, next thing you know, one thing led to another. I went to that. We danced, and then now we're dating. So yeah,
Girl over there. Holy crap.
yeah, she's pretty awesome. Let's just say it's the fact that she's wanting to sit in on my D&D sessions. I was like, oh, okay, you must really like me.
know what
Yeah,
D&D
Arctown.
means.
Yeah.
I explained it to her.
Okay, because I was like, you know, if you're saying date and you're talking about D's, I was like, maybe she's thinking something else. She's like, yeah, I'm totally into that.
So, Jordan, let me tell you, see, I feel like as a married man, I'm allowed to impart wisdom to people now, whether it's invited or uninvited. So I've known my wife now for 3 years, and we've been married for 5 months, and every month I have people over, and I'm a DM for a Dungeons and Dragon game, and only just now is she comfortable enough to just roll the dice for me. So it took 3 years to get to that point. So you're well on your way.
Man.
So yeah, she's wonderful. So we're just now getting to the point that might be official. So we're not ready to come out.
Oh, wait, are
just yet.
we breaking news on the RT podcast? The Guardian podcast?
The RT podcast? I wish. But no. So she's great.
Wait,
and-
you were on the RT podcast in 2012.
Was I really? Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
I came up for a little bit. Like I picked up my
Oh yeah, it's just a
because
little bit.
because we sat there and got the Bernie statue, you, me, and Matt, and we went up there and grabbed a bunch
was
of
you?
yeah. That was me.
Okay.
It was me, James, and Matt. So
That's actually how I met Jordan, was because he tried to outbid us on the Bernie statue, so we just decided to assimilate him into the group.
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
So yeah, we went up there during the RT podcast because I think it was Dom who actually came down and was like, Jordan, they want you upstairs. I was like,
Down.
who wants me upstairs? And they're like, oh, yeah,
man.
the podcast.
Top man.
They get stored into a secret facility. But yeah, and we came up and they gave us a bunch of what was it?
They gave us the
Razer.
Razer headset, the
controller.
Spartan avatar armor for your Xbox Live, and
The controller for Razer.
oh yeah, that's right, the Razer controller. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a fun experience. I only got to be up there for a second, but hey,
Hey, you got to be up there.
silver linings.
And this podcast brought to you by Razer. Razer, greatest gifts.
brought to you by Pizza Hut with their cheesy bites.
No, they don't need any more help, Jordan.
Only $11.99.
I think they got enough advertising.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to Q&A real quick. We only have about 5 minutes left.
Already? Oh.
Oh,
And Raph joined in.
Hi,
Hey,
Raph.
hey, babe.
Is it possible to schedule a bro date with Jordan at RTX 2016? Yes, it is possible, Raph. Only for you. Only for you, though.
Book now.
Spooning is extra.
Yeah. Okay. This is Marcy referring to Charles. That was amazing. Everyone wants Charles to get hired by RT now. I love the comments. Yep. Yeah, that was a thing because they posted the video for was it RT Life?
Yeah, in RT Life. Charles is famous now.
You know what? I'm gonna go on the record, and I'm gonna be the voice, the dissenting opinion on it. But when it comes to being a guardian, I mean, guardian is very much a volunteer role, and we don't get any special benefits except like a free T-shirt that some of us are wearing right now.
Yeah.
And we've been preaching, and because it's true. I mean, you shouldn't go into being a guardian and expect to have anything. And then Charles's video went up, and I literally, as soon as his video went up, every other comment was, "How do you become a PA? How do you become a PA?" And I'm like, no, that's like a 1 in a million thing. Please, people, it's a 1 in a million thing.
So, Mary, be prepared for at least 1,000 PA applicants this next year.
Well, those were the second comments underneath below. Gavin's such a douche that he needs an assistant. So, those the first comments we saw.
Yeah, it's like you can either be on an RT Life video, or you can be like me and Raph and sit there for 2.5 hours waiting for Blaine to park his own car when he wanted us to park it. So there's a difference.
Yeah, admittedly, it is difficult to park a car while handcuffed, but kudos to Blaine.
Marcy says again, I wish the GPS worked indoors because Bernie really wanted to fly his drone around. He showed the Game Grumps in Funhouse in the JW and almost killed Joel from Funhouse.
And that's exactly why I'm glad the GPS does not work in there.
Yeah.
So we couldn't
Nothing
fly
worked
it
in
around.
there.
Oh my god.
And
the one thing I didn't notice this RT, I was really expecting to see a lot of people with selfie sticks. I was really happy I did not see that.
Thank
I only
God.
saw one Sunday night when we did our signing.
I'm actually really surprised.
Yep. I'm okay with
banned.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it too. James says Marcy. James.
Oh, this isn't you saying
The
that?
Marcy segment.
Yeah, this is Marcy. I wouldn't say this, but James, you were the best. When you had to go to your panel, Matt missed you so much and kept asking when you were coming back. Stop fretting.
Aw.
Oh.
Okay, you know what? Just to clarify, he was saying that because I had his wallet. So.
But yeah, there were so many moments where people they were so unsure whether their staffer liked them or not, especially with Raph. And then Blaine called him afterwards and basically talked about how much he enjoyed his time with Raph this year. So
That's awesome.
Well, you see, Barbara said the same thing to me last year, and I got fired. So.
Listen, she said it was a promotion.
promotion, that's what she called it.
Depends on your point of view.
You were upsized.
You were sent to another department.
Yeah.
We're just not utilizing you well here. We're going to send you far away. Go away. We don't want to see you all of RTX.
We're gonna need you to go downstairs and clean out the roach.
Also took your red stapler.
You laugh, but with all the stuff people were getting, staplers came in really handy. That red one just ergonomic. It felt really good.
I'm just waiting for the day that someone actually gives a stapler as a gift.
Oh, it's happened. Someone's gotten a stapler already.
I mean, they've gotten bowling balls. People were signing dildos this year.
Chainmail.
Yeah, I saw that. What the hell was the thing with the dildo?
Well, Jordan, you see, sometimes when people are lonely, they.
Oh my God! Did we end it on that note?
Yeah, with that. Oh my God.
But no, RTX was great. It was really fun. I will definitely be coming back next year. Well, granted, that I have a schedule that allows me.
And then we accept your application. We all have to reapply. People
Yeah.
listening at home, we
Yep.
reapply every year.
Even
So,
our team leads.
even our
Yep.
team leads.
Yep.
But
And after all the feedback we've given on them, who knows? Maybe they'll get a promotion too.
And upsizing.
but yeah. So any last thoughts before we decide to sign off?
I love you all.
Love you too.
Yeah, I'm waiting to commit.
Your people.
Yeah. People and I have feelings about you.
I something you.
You know what? Actually, for a sincere concluding thought, I think the best way to sum up the camaraderie of the Guardians was when it was Thursday. We were going to, or Wednesday, we were doing bagging, stuffing, or maybe it was Thursday. But I was walking from my hotel to the JW to do it, and I ran into Brandon. Brandon was the first person I saw a Guardian that day, and I don't think I've actually met Brandon in person yet, just online interaction. And we both recognized each other, and we just a big bear hug, and like we had known each other forever, and have seen each other, at least once prior, which has not happened. So I think that's the best thing about being a Guardian, is just the camaraderie you guys build, and that you can see people once a year, but feel like it's been no time at all, and no time has passed whatsoever.
That's
You
why I
say
love
it that
doing-
way. You say it that way. I see it. A Minnesotan and a Tennessee man flew to Texas to hug each other in a corner.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love you guys, and it the group me helped a lot this year because I didn't know half these people, and then when I came in, it's just interacting with them like they were friends. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you guys next year, or trying to find time to actually visit you guys. Something that's not RT.
October 3rd, coming for you.
That's true. RT Michigan.
Yeah, do it. Absolutely fucking do it. Ann Arbor. Let's go, man.
RT Tennessee. Woo! National.
Yay.
Alrighty.
Brandon, do you want to plug yours?
Minnesota Rooster Speak. Rooster, I have too many fucking things.
All the roosters. All
All
of
the
them.
roosters.
But yeah. So, any last thoughts? Anyone else?
Thanks for having us, Jordan.
Oh,
Yep.
no problem.
I'm terrible at making the heart, but that's it's what I'm trying to do. On my side, it looks good. So,
No, wait.
yeah.
I hope that you guys and everyone who's listening, if you had any doubts as to your performance this year, that you have none whatsoever, that you guys did an amazing job.
Except for James, you were kind of awful.
Yeah, I was kind of an asshole, but you want to see the feedback that Matt gave me? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh snap!
Oh, Marcy brought up a good point. So when are we going to Hawaii?
Yeah.
How much money did you make?
I made $3,000. I don't know about you guys, but boy, do my knees hurt.
I made 32, so.
Alrighty. Well, it was fun having you guys on, so thank you guys for coming on and doing this.
Thanks for
And
having us.
for
Anytime.
Brandon for coming on at such a short notice as well.
I'm alone.
Just like a good freelancer, he was always ready and available for assistance.
Yeah.
But love you guys. So
Aw.
say bye to the internet.
I
Bye,
less than
Internet.
three
I
you
will
all.
never see you again because I don't do anything on the internet
Aren't
at
you?
all.
Bye.
Bye.